Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your Midday News Fix for Monday, the 16th of September. Details have emerged of how an assassination attempt on Donald Trump was thwarted. A man's been detained trying to escape after firing shots at a Trump golf course at Palm Beach in Florida. An AK-47, 2 backpacks and a GoPro were recovered from nearby bushes. A US Secret Service spokesperson says an agent spotted a gun barrel sticking through a fence.
Our agents engaged. We are not sure right now if the individual was able to take a shot at our agents, but for sure our agents were able to engage with the subject.
Scepticism about where relief teachers will come from despite rule changes. The Education Minister's loosening up the limited authority to teach rules to address shortages. They'll let relief teachers come from a pool of experts not qualified as teachers and previously registered ones who have quit. South Canterbury's Bluestone School has had to temporarily emerge classes because they don't have enough staff. Principal Darren Smith says he doesn't know where to find people.
I'm seriously thinking about buying a defibrillator so I can actually bring back the dead that they talk about. Many people have left the teaching profession because of the overload of work.
Meanwhile, a principal's group leader reports varied experiences with the ban on student cell phones in schools starting last term. Secondary Principals Association President Vaughan Quio says some schools didn't want the ban in outside areas, but he says they all support removing the distraction in class.
It took away a little bit of in-class conflict because actually now it's a piece of legislation as opposed to a rule that the schools are making themselves. So in class it's made it a little easier, out of class it's made it a little harder.
Labor's calling a home gang patch ban horrendous legislation and intrusion into someone's personal life. Courts will be required to ban insignia in the houses of those who have thrice defied the public patch ban. Justice Minister Paul Goldsmith's confirmed it doesn't matter who in the home owns the patch, despite his ministry warning this risks creating guilt by association and restricting families from associating. Duncan Webb says it's madness that this made it into the bill. The Crown will begin its closing address today in the high-profile murder trial of Auckland eye surgeon Philip Polkinghorne. He's accused of murdering his wife, Pauline Hanna, but claims she killed herself. Claire Sherwood has more.
After 7 weeks of testimony involving more than 80 witnesses, both sides have finished presenting evidence. The Crown is set to give its lengthy closing address today, with the defence expected to give a closing address tomorrow before deliberations are expected to start on Wednesday. The trial, initially set down for 6 weeks, could stretch into a 9th week, depending on how long the jury deliberates for.
International flights are returning to Hamilton and Dunedin Airport. Jetstar has announced new routes between Hamilton and Sydney, Hamilton and the Gold Coast, and also Dunedin and the Gold Coast. The hoiho, or yellow-eyed penguin, has been voted Forest and Birds Bird of the Year. To sport, Shane van Gisbergen's missed out on a second career NASCAR win, pipped by Chris Buescher on one of the final turns at the Watkins Glen circuit near New York. And Scott McLaughlin's placed 5th in the IndyCar season finale at Nashville. He's finished 3rd in the championship behind winner Alex Palou. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.